I'm Chapin Fay. I'm the spokesperson for the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. We are standing right now at SDS-3 in southern Gaza. We are about to have a regular distribution followed by a women's only distribution. We're standing here in the humanitarian zone among the boxes of aid. In each box, there is enough calories and food to feed a family of 5.5 for 3.5 days, 3 meals a day. We're up to 166 million meals served in 3.5 months. We're about to see anywhere between 5,000 and 10,000 Gazans stream over into the entrances to come collect the aid. And anywhere between 2,000 and 5,000 women will follow. They tell us that they are using these boxes to feed their family and to survive, and without it, they wouldn't be able to survive. GHF's model is a little different than the legacy system. Our boxes contain equivalent calories to the United Nations and other international NGO standards or exceed it. However, our boxes are designed to be carryable by a single person, particularly women, so that they can bring it home on their own and do it that way. We're not doing bulk distribution. However, we have some community, some pilot programs in the works to do some community style distributions where we're vetting local families and parents and NGOs in Gaza to be able to come get bulk and take it home. So we're about to feed probably 8,000 people today here at Sites 3. So again, GHF's model is a little unique. We have, our sites are run by, and the first instance of dealing with the crowd and running the sites and distributing the aid are local Gazans, Palestinians who have been vetted and now work alongside our humanitarian teams, whose job is to interact with the crowd, make sure that we are giving them what they need as well as what they want, make sure it's done in a humanitarian and dignified way. And the reason we are able to do some of our methods of distribution is because of the trust we have built with the aid seekers, which you'll see today, who have come to rely on our consistency. And we also have security personnel, which is another big reason we've had 0% of our aid diverted. You can see over here, oh, he has disappeared. We'll try that again later, but our local workers are wearing blue. You'll also see them in the crowd today, interacting with the crowd. If there is a fight for aid, they usually are the ones that will go in and break it up. We like to say these are Gazans solving Gazans' problems. They also live on site now because of a Hamas threat. Our sites are protected 24 hours a day, and the Hamas threat is never zero, even though we are operating primarily in the south where the IDF has secured.
Do me a favor, mic check yourself.
What'd you say?
Okay, good.
Oh, okay,
mic
sorry.
Works.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
All right,
so we're up now at a security point at SDS-3. We're about to have a distribution in a couple minutes. Up to 10,000 aid seekers are going to run down this road when the gates open and our flag goes green at 9 a.m. Endemic to the region is IDF gunfire. You can hear it over my shoulder. The Hamas threat here is never zero. One of our sites today is closed because of a Hamas threat. And the IDF is waging a war. This is one of the most complex humanitarian crises of our lifetime. We are an emergency food distribution operation, and we're doing it in the middle of an active war zone, which is unique for a humanitarian operation. It has a lot of unique challenges that we work to overcome every single day. We push the IDF and work with them to deconflict outside our sites and in the humanitarian zones that they have created. And we are responsible for the safety and security of the aid seekers and our sites. We have had no casualties on our sites except for 2 terrorist attacks. Our security personnel are very highly trained, highly skilled, more importantly, highly intelligent former U.S. Military folks who are hired not because they know how to pull a trigger, but because they know how not to pull a trigger. And they have never once shot at anyone during this engagement. That being said, you can hear the IDF is waging war behind us, and they are taking out threats all over Gaza, including here, even though that this is a place that we are behind enemy line. Sorry, we are behind IDF lines.
How close to your site has the enemy gotten? Within a couple hundred meters?
So where I'm standing right now is where one of the terrorist attacks happened over July 4th weekend. Some children down this berm were throwing rocks at this guardhouse, which is common in a war zone and in a place like this. They were doing it for days on end. It turns out they were practicing or testing, and a grenade was thrown over the berm, a Hamas-style Iranian ball-bearing grenade. It injured two of our American workers who were hurt, but thankfully okay now. And in fact, I think one of them is back at work.
Good.
The other thing I would point out, the aid seekers right now are about 1 kilometer away from the site. So when you hear that there are casualties within 1 kilometer of our site, it is preposterous, it is wrong and false information. You cannot see the IDF from our site right now. They are multiple kilometers away. You can't even see the aid seekers. They are, like I said, about 1 kilometer away, and then they're going to travel down this road, some of them in motorcycles, and our security guys' main job is to keep everyone safe in the crowd. And that's what we do every single day. That's what they do every single day. They are risking their lives alongside local Palestinian workers, humanitarians, and our logistics folks to ensure that everybody that we can feed gets fed.
TJ, Tower 2, we have runners.
They're coming in.
You can see them now. There's the first guy running in.
Hey, TJ,
So they're all going to come down that chute. It's going to be 90 to 95% men, because now that we've been doing women's distributions consistently for almost 2 months, the women know that they can come. You'll see them come in on motorcycles so they can get here first. The motorcycles are not allowed in, so you may hear our guys yelling at them to make sure they're off. Again, safety and security of the aid seekers is everyone's paramount concern here. The flag seems to be stuck today, so it's still red. You'll also see they'll take everything. They take the wood pallets, they take the cardboard. Some of them are living without, heat, power. So they use that for firewood. They also use it to make beds. But there's a market in Gaza for all of this. You see a lot of them bring their own bags, easier to carry. And you'll just see a steady stream for 5-10 minutes. The other thing they'll do is if you have a lot of lentils and you need flour, you'll go try and take some flour out of a couple boxes and not take the whole box. If anyone is hoarding or trying to carry a giant sack of one item out, our local workers have a very strong sense of justice and fairness, and they're going to go do everything they can to ensure that everybody gets something. By the way, if you need to yell or communicate for your job, you totally can. You see all the motorcycles are being parked out there. There's a couple donkey carts. And you'll see it's overwhelmingly men right now. Or young men, I should say. pretty calm crowd today, right now. So you don't see too many of our local workers running in there to address anything. So that's a good sign. It's good news. The other thing is, the word famine is for the politicians to debate, but down here in the South, these are people who have been here over and over, and we have seen healthier faces and healthier outcomes in the aid seekers over the last 3 months because of the work that we're doing. So these are, as you can see, desperate, hungry people who need this to live and survive, but there isn't that mass starvation that you're reading about, primarily because we're here, and we've been doing this every single day except for 3 days for the last 3.5 months.
Have you seen an actual physical change in the people since you guys have been feeding them?
Yes, from the first day to now, yes. They're healthier. I mean, these folks right now are running in, right? You got little kids carrying boxes. You see a little kid right there struggling to carry a box by himself.
Right.
And he's able to do it. So we are not operating in the north, where certainly the need is more acute. But we push the government of Israel and the IDF every day to deconflict, create more humanitarian zones, and let us open in the north. We were originally envisioned to have 8 sites. We only have 4, with 1 closed. That's going to be reopened, that can do a different model of continuous distribution, which will help bring the pressure down even more. And then our most northern site, SDS4 in central Gaza, closes probably a couple times a week because of an active Hamas threat. And of course, the IDF offensive is creating this to be an even more dynamic environment.
Have you guys seen an increase since the IDF started moving towards Gaza City?
We have seen an uptick about 15% at our sites.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was letting you guys know.
Have you guys been able to increase aid during that time frame, or do you guys need more funding in order to help increase aid?
We are trying to meet the full need, but we are unable to. We were never envisioned to do this alone, and yes, we'll need more resources to expand. We are ready, willing, and able to. I know President Trump and his folks are having meetings. Secretary of State Rubio is in Israel right now as we speak, having those same conversations. So we're eagerly awaiting, some direction from the American government as well. And we have donor nations that fund us. We are fully funded through the end of the year. But that's at the original 4 sites.
So the United States government came out and said they had originally given you all $30 million back in June.
We received that
That's when
money.
they said that?
Yeah, we
Y'all
received that money.
received that money, and then everything else is coming through donor nations.
Correct. Who we do not speak for.
So out of the goodness of their hearts, they don't want to be identified with what they're doing in order
Correct.
to help this mission out.
And we are honoring that commitment. I mean, our burn rate is $2.5 million a day. So the 30
You guys,
million is
in order to
obviously-
conduct this operation, is $2.5 million a day.
Yes, and the vast majority of that is food costs, which is incredibly expensive, particularly emergency food costs.
How much does one meal cost, equivalent of one meal cost, to get into the hands of these people?
I'd have to get you that. I don't have those figures on me. Our math is strange because we base it on calories within the box and how many meals
Right.
it is, rather than a truckload or pallets or bulk like some of the other INGOs do. So what those kids are doing and those women, those are the first women lining up for the women's distribution. We also, we're very proud to have, we started a pilot reservation program. So some of the women will have ID cards and they can go to an online portal and reserve a box or a certain amount of boxes. And we use that information. We do not share it, highly encrypted. Air gap is not shared with the IDF or the government of Israel or anyone else. We use it solely to make sure that if a woman reserves a box at a certain time, that's who gets it at that time and that there's enough for her. We're also going to start that system in a bigger way at our bigger site when that opens, because we're going to do continuous distribution. It's a little different, but similar to this. It'll look like 2 of these. So the aid can be loaded at one site while the other side is open, and then that distribution is done, and we immediately open the other one, and we go back and forth for 16 hours a day. That's the goal that we're trying to get to, which will bring the pressure even farther down, and there will be no need for anybody to run in if you know you're going to get aid and it's open for 16 hours, you don't have to run it at a particular time. So that's another challenge we're trying to solve.
Can you explain to everybody why it was that y'all decided to open a women's only time?
Sure. So you could kind of see today the men and the younger, fitter folks run in and get there first, and sometimes women, children, elderly, disabled got left behind. So we started about 2 months ago holding a certain amount of aid back for women, and it became incredibly popular. Last week we were up to 4,000 women served, with another 1,500 waiting when unfortunately a Hamas threat shut us down last week. But so today we will see anywhere probably between 2,000 and 5,000 women. You're going to see, it's an incredible sight to see. You see them right now lining up in a small way. Within an hour, there'll be thousands of women sitting, lining themselves up. There's local volunteers among them who help organize, and then they walk in a procession down to the center where forklifts will bring aid, and they get handed something directly into their hands and they walk right out. That's also the other way we distribute RUSF, ready-to-use supplemental food. We're very, very grateful that Samaritan's Purse has contributed that supplemental food. It's children's nutrition. It's kind of like peanut butter packets to supplement children's nutrition. It needs to be handed out individually because if you eat too many of them, it can have negative health consequences. We also have a system where a few women throughout the distribution have been vetted to take bulk RUSF, and they distribute it to their family and friends and neighborhood and community. So we're getting it out there. We're very grateful for Samaritan's Purse. They are also on site. We'll see that in a little bit. They distribute medical aid. You'll see some of the folks, some of the kids don't have shoes, especially, so they're often bloody feet. Sometimes they bring in box cutters and knives to cut open the cardboard and put it into their sacks. So on occasion, there's knife wounds, and Samaritan's Purse is here to distribute the appropriate care. The thing that I find most interesting or moving is that if they patch up a kid today, next week they'll bring the kid again behind a humanitarian zone into Samaritan's Purse, and they'll do follow-up checks. They'll make sure it's healing okay, and they're really providing a great service for these folks who rely on it to stay healthy, just like they rely on the food. So I forgot to mention that earlier. We have local workers alongside humanitarians, alongside our security personnel, alongside now nurses and doctors from Samaritan's Purse who are distributing medical aid.
If organizations donated shoes to you, would you guys be able to distribute that?
We have one of our guys you just met started a local collection, and he's actually delivered hundreds, if not thousands, of shoes. So we take it unofficially. We are currently working organizationally on GHF to be able to take smaller donations like that. But that, I think we're a couple of weeks out from that, but I can certainly give you a link. I mean, I'm pushing to have something on our website so folks like you can say go to the website and contribute.
Right.
It's a IRS thing currently that we're working on. It's just bureaucratic hurdles we got to get over, but we are pushing for that to happen sooner rather than later.
Because I got a feeling that after Americans and other people around the world end up seeing this, that they're going to want to donate shoes, because
Yep.
people see this and they say, how can I help out?
Yep.
How can I help these people? How can I help these women? How can I help these kids that are walking
Yep.
around without shoes? How can we help contribute to the good work that GHF is doing? And the answer is you guys are working on being able to have it set up so that
Yeah.
people can donate, and you guys are more than willing to distribute it.
Yes. And we are also in talks with Samaritan's Purse and other NGOs. So winter season is going to be upon us soon.
Right.
So we are working with them to distribute winterized items as well. One of the things about us, like I said, we describe ourselves as an emergency food distribution operation. So we were sort of building the plane as we flew it. And it's now getting much more organized. And now we are able to have the conversations where we couldn't 2 months ago about distributing other things besides food. Our mission is to feed the people of Gaza in a way Hamas or anyone else can't steal it. That has been our sole focus. But now that you can see things are running smoothly and we have this trust between us and the aid seekers, we can do things to expand our services, which is what we are looking to do at the moment. And Samaritan's Purse has been a great partner in that, us distributing their aid and then being on site helping us with medical aid. But you can see, look, hundreds of women are already lined up.
That's crazy.
Now we're going to wait before we start that distribution until the first distribution has been cleared from the site. So it'll be almost 100% women, within the hour, and then they'll start. You'll see forklifts. They'll bring the aid over there. and they'll start handing it out into people's hands. And the other thing I will say, you've seen a lot of our security personnel. Everyone here is here to make people safe and to feed people. You'll see them carrying boxes. You'll see them helping organize the women. Everyone really cares about this mission, and it's really moving to see.
Can you talk me through, because it's on the right side of the camera right now, that flag that people can see?
Sure. Unfortunately, today it is broken. But actually, it may have been green before. They were struggling with it earlier, so I may be misspeaking. But it is red now because the first distribution is over. We fly it red during the women's distribution. They now understand that doesn't apply to them during this distribution. But I mentioned we have a relationship and a trust built up with all of the aid seekers, the crowd in general, because of the work of our humanitarians and security personnel, and especially our local workers. We are able to do things per their requirements. So that was the flag system was a suggestion from the aid seekers on how to communicate with them so they know when the distribution is open and closed, to save them either walking in or running or some of those headaches. So that's directly from the aid seekers. We also would not have been able to do this right now 3 months ago. Right,
So-
the pressure was too high in Gaza. There was not enough aid getting out. Now that we've been operating for long enough, we are able to do this. You'll see now our team is inside the site already, helping organize and helping disperse the crowd and protecting people.
Yeah.
One of the things our security guys do is they're going to stand up closer to the edge of the site and the gates, and they are going to warn people to let the women pass unobstructed and untouched. So you'll see just everyone here cares about putting food into people's hands and making sure they get home safely. That's all anyone in this site cares about.
So I also noticed that the guard that's right here with us inside this tower, he's able to just communicate non-verbally with the people, and they're actually responding to him as he's telling him to move over to the side. Like it's almost like the people here understand that y'all are here to help. It doesn't look like anybody's trying to overrun. Nobody's trying to do anything. It's like there's even though you're not speaking the same language, everybody just knows, that we're going to remain organized to keep this going.
Yes, consistency and communication are two key aspects of a successful humanitarian organization, and we have built up that trust over the last 3.5 months. We're here every day. These guys are out risking their lives every single day to protect the aid seekers. That's the number one concern. Yes, they're here to protect me and everyone else, but they're here to protect the aid seekers. That's the paramount concern of everyone involved in this operation.
Absolutely amazing to see.
You'll be able to, we'll go take you down to speak to a few of them, but you're going to hear gratitude. You're going to hear them tell you that they live in a war zone and that it's not safe and that they rely on this food every single day. Some of them will tell you that they wouldn't survive if it weren't for our sites that are open every single day. I mean, look at this. There are thousands of women now.
It's insane. The amount of women that have showed up here sitting orderly, they've simply organized themselves.
Yep. And again, it's an exercise in human behavior, right? We have learned from them on better ways to do things, and they have learned from us on how things work smoothly as well. So it's, like I said, it's a dialogue among all of us here and them. And we would not be able to do this without the trust that we built up. We would not be able to have a reservation system where we're handing out IDs if these women didn't trust us to do so.
Do you think having special operations troops on your contract have greatly influenced your ability to do that? Because a lot of people do not understand that special operations troops in general are humanitarian workers. They rely on the public for their safety when they're out and about, living amongst the people. Is that one of your key factors for bringing them in?
100%. So bottom line is, one of the reasons Hamas has not diverted or stolen any of our aid is because we have these guys here protecting everything. But what I will say is, these guys are here because they want to protect people and they want to help people. That's what the American military is about, and that's what you're going to see here. You're going to see them protecting folks from the rest of the crowd, from any other danger that might present itself. That's protective nature is why we're able to do this. And the crowd understands that. We're not here to hurt them. We're here to help them. We're literally putting food in their hands. When we can't do enough, we try to do more. We wish we could do more. We wish we could expand. We're ready to expand. I think we're going to, but we're waiting on some direction from the American government. We're about to open a no bigger site to do continuous distribution. all to feed people, all to feed more people. One of the biggest regrets we have is that sometimes we can't feed everybody. We were never meant to solve this problem alone. We were meant to be one small part of a huge, bigger, more complex solution, including the UN, including WFP, including all the other INGOs that want to operate here. Many of whom are operating, despite what you hear them say.
Yeah.
They just aren't able to do it. We think our model is successful. We think our model is working. Yeah, you can see a little
over
kid coming
here,
in.
Yeah, it looks like a child and her mom are coming in. Can you explain?
Yeah, so it looks actually like it's his foot. Like I said, many of them do not have shoes. We've actually, some of our local workers have taken up a collection so we can try and address that just on our own in an unofficial way. But he's being let in. They're going to be searched, make sure everything's safe. You see the local worker in the vest who's leading this process with our security personnel just assisting. Once they're all clear, they're going to go back to Samaritan's Purse tent and they're going to get checked out. And they're going to get either bandaged up or stitched up. Sometimes, today's not too hot, but sometimes it's very hot out here and there are some dehydration or heat issues.
Right.
We'll bring them right in. I've seen 6 security guys go carry a woman in, give her electrolytes and let her sit in the shade and send her back out when she's okay. They have a...
How often is GHF Samaritan's Purse, how often are y'all treating injuries out here at these sites?
Every day. Every day. We have never refused medical aid. Sometimes it's a pre-existing condition, so to speak. Sometimes it's, if they walked here on bare feet, sometimes there's an injury there. Sometimes there's an injury in a crowd. Sometimes they fight over boxes or aid, and we have to break that up and treat someone for, a knife wound or something like that.
Right.
They bring box cutters to cut the cardboard. There can be accidents. Our guys have a very soft spot for children and women.
Yeah.
There are a lot of pregnant women, often in the crowd, and they'll go right out, take them in, and make sure they're okay. You'll see another girl coming in over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna respect her and not show that on camera.
That's cool. No, appreciate it.
I'm not sure what she's got going on, and I would just prefer.
Yeah, we can go over when you're done here. We can go over and check out Samaritan's Purse. They're probably treating some people by now.
I want to do my best to be able to respect the women on camera, unless they're asking for it particularly.
So you can go talk to them. You can go up and talk to them. I'm going to make sure the trains are asked if they're okay, and we're going to make you blur their face anyway.
Right.
But a lot of them are willing to talk. You'll also hear a lot of negative words for Hamas.
Sure.
When you ask who's responsible for this condition, these conditions, they'll blame Hamas usually, and they'll be very grateful to America and to GHF for doing this.
So now we have, I can't even estimate the number of women, and what's amazing is if I could get in all the way over here in the back, even where people are exiting and coming out of the site, you can actually see a very orderly manner that they're going through. Not the chaos that was happening on day one. Certainly not what's being portrayed in the media at all. And you could actually see people standing up all the way in the rear here on the horizon. Once I get this camera panned over, all the way there in the back on the horizon, there's people that are standing up on the hillside. And you guys actually have security personnel that are standing out in the open as well.
So one of the things they're doing is protecting the women, right? They're dispersing the crowd. You'll see the gate, the main gate is closed. People are still leaving up the middle. And the women are organizing. And the other thing is the women know that nothing's going to happen until the site is safe and the men are out. So, the men sort of have no choice but to leave. You're not seeing any crowd control tactics by our men currently. I haven't seen it on site for a bunch of weeks now because the crowds have learned how to do this and how best to protect themselves and to work with our guys to keep everybody safe.
Right.
The women in particular. Look at they're sitting down. They did that. They decided that was the best way they wanted to organize, and it's worked out incredibly well. And you'll see in a minute, each section sort of gets up and shuffles over to the next section as they get closer and closer to the distribution.
Sure.
And I would say this is the most I've ever seen. I think we may hit 4,000 or 5,000 today. I'll get a better count from somebody who's better at the jelly bean, counting how many jelly beans are in a jar. But this is the most I've seen, for sure.
Well, I guess the reason I'm continuing to roll and take this raw video footage is to show people, even though it takes however long this is going to take, that long of a video to show people that there's nothing hidden. Oftentimes you end up getting things that are, I don't know how to say it, cut down, edited, and then other people are going to say that. But even from what I've seen before I ended up coming out here to this distribution site, there's just absolutely no way for you guys to orchestrate 5 to 10,000 people so far, just estimated by the horizon and what's here, and set this up as some sort of a stage. These people would be acting completely and totally different had the GHF workers treated them differently in the past. If they didn't trust you guys, clearly we wouldn't have this many women and children sitting over on the front line. Even though we were hearing gunshots in the beginning, and you have people that are here bringing in, sick and injured people, from anything from foot injuries to dehydration, whatever it may be. There's nobody shot that's being brought to the front line over here. We've got this poor woman that's limping here right in front of us. Clearly she's hurt. She's not bleeding though. She wasn't shot. And so these people are coming to you and they are trusting in you guys. You've literally built trust within the people, and that does not happen. That trust doesn't get built within the people unless you have done a good job.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do any of this stuff if it weren't for that trust. It's a two-way street, right? We rely on them to help deconflict among themselves and let us know what's going on outside the sites. I would also point out, you see the main road that I said was probably, so you could see probably 500 meters to 750 meters. It's probably 1 kilometer long, and there is no IDF. There's no IDF on our sites, and there never has been. And they're not being shot at. They're walking out. Look how slowly they're walking out. They're walking out calm, cool, collected. They've gotten all the aid. Again, we wish there were more. We wish we had more sites. We wish we could do more, but we're doing our part until that happens. And now you see the women lining up. This is a lot, which becomes a logistical challenge on its own. So this will take a couple hours to distribute all the aid and put it directly into each person's hand, one by one.
I don't know. I mean, for me, even this gentleman here that's off camera that came up walking and talking as everybody else is over there, you were just down at the front, right? You're not on camera, so if you want to talk, you can. But when you ended up coming back up, you're happy, you're jovial, you're joking around.
Yeah.
And that, when situations are tense, is not something you get. And so I'm actually really happy that got captured on camera, because I don't even think you realized we were filming.
No.
Exactly. And so that to me is amazing, that you guys are able to come up and...
We actually recognize a lot of these people from Site 2, and they're coming over from Site 2, and like he said, they're regular people, and they're like regulars, so they come here, every distro that we're here, we see the same faces, we see the same people, they're happier, they help us coordinate. Like just now, we need a walking way for females, and they help us coordinate, the women help, the kids help.
Is that what's over here on the right side?
The right side is our corridors, just so people can, if they're coming across the front, they can come out, go out the exit.
It's all for safety, right? You can't have just the thousands of people with no way to get out. It's all for safety. And like you said, I think SDS 2 is closed today. I can get the reason and let you know, probably a threat or the IDF doing operations. So like you said, a lot of the people that rely on Site 2 every day are coming here, which is probably why there's such an increase in the number of women. And like he said, these guys are here every day. I'm here like twice a week, and I recognize some of the faces. And these guys have built up actual, real, legitimate relationships with these folks, so they could grab the people that they know, explain what's going on, ask for help, and vice versa. These guys know that if there's a problem out there, they can grab one of our security personnel and they will go solve the problem. Or our local workers. We like to have the local workers. We call it Gazans solving Gazan problems first, but everyone's here to help feed the folks.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why is it so important to you that you guys are able to maintain a relationship like this with these people?
It helps with safety, it helps with organization, and as you're going to see, you guys will see it, it's kind of a new tactic of ours, is towards the end of when we start the women's distro, we have a lot of elderly women that can only make it, they've been waiting a long time, they make it 30, 40, 50 feet, have to set it down and relax. I recruit about 8 little young gentlemen between the 8 and 12 years old, and we come over here, and all 8 of those guys for the whole 2 or 3 hours will help women. They'll walk up to women, take their packages, and walk them over the burn. And these kids were the same kids that were throwing rocks and kind of troublemakers at the beginning, and you just give them a little direction, and they help the whole time.
And so that I'm glad you said that. That's what our security guys do, right? Help protect people, feed people, make sure everything is smooth, take care of elderly women. That's what they're here to do. And I've heard from them an interesting thing, because I do not have a military background, but a lot of them have told me that this is a good assignment for them because they're finally not asked to go out and hunt and kill people. They're asked to protect and feed people. So it's a rewarding professional experience for our warriors.
Yeah, what's amazing is this gentleman off camera actually just gave me a thumbs up with a huge smile. And if you're asking why I'm choosing not to show this gentleman's face, it's the same reason I'm going to end up blurring out these women's faces and the people that are being, given medical treatment. It's because of threats. It's funny, we were talking in the vehicle on the way here about the amazing work that you guys are actually out here doing, and yet some of the issues that y'all have back at home, actually receiving threats for feeding people who clearly care about this, who clearly have established a relationship, who are showing up, and you guys are providing life-saving aid to them, taking care of them, and yet I can't show your face on camera because you have a family.
Yep.
And so by being a good human being, and this is probably one of the most dishonest things about this entire situation that the mainstream media has done, in my opinion, has demonized y'all to the point where you're out here giving your best every single day away from your families to take care of these people, which is very evident just by how people are reacting with every single contractor that's out here. And yet you have to worry about your family's safety back home in addition to what you are dealing with over here, all to help people that are in a bad situation.
You're right. We're not doing this for the recognition. We're doing it because we see the results.
Can you say that again?
We're not doing this for the recognition. We're doing this because we've seen the results. It's getting better and better increasingly every single week.
Yeah, and you see the type of people like him that we have working, and the reason we have to blur their faces, yes, there's a Hamas threat, but also primarily because the irresponsible media and influencers who go around disparaging this work, honorable men doing honorable work, protecting and feeding people. And you're right, it's a disgrace and it's a shame. Our GHF leadership has private security back home because their families are under attack. And by the way, GHF leadership, one is a person of faith who does all sorts of charitable missions like this, and one is a lifelong humanitarian who goes to war zones away from his family for decades to feed people.
Right.
And now he's getting vandalized and has to have personal security for that.
So those people were clapping because they helped her up. Oh, you're all right, brother. Those people were clapping because they actually were able to help her and get her back there. And those are the people from.
So the one on the left is one of our security personnel, and the one on the right is one of our humanitarian leaders, a woman who has been out here every single day since the beginning. She has great relationships with the women and the children in particular. I'm not going to tell you her name, but they chant her name often when she shows up. She likes to bring chocolates or any other supplies that she can to help. I mean, she does this every single day of her life. She lives here across the border in Israel. And again, she comes from USAID. We have people who come from the UN, WFP. These are lifelong humanitarians here doing this work alongside local Gazans and our security personnel.
Do you know off the top of your head the difference in the separation between them, those that are on the right side versus the left over here? Or is that just the walkway that they've established?
It's just a walkway. I believe the women organize themselves.
Really?
So there may be an order, to maybe first come, first serve or most needy. But they have organized themselves into the rows that you're seeing now. All we have done with the local workers leading the way and security personnel as assisting is to create these corridors. There's one here, there's one in the middle, and there's probably one on the other side. Because when people start to leave, or if there is an incident, there is a Hamas attack, you have to have safe ways to get people in and out very quickly. And that's what our team is thinking about, right? How do we feed these people safely and get them home?
So I think the other thing that's absolutely amazing, there's people that are sitting out here. Off in the crowd, you have this young lady that's walking up the front, and then you have this boy that was just leaned off the side. When I first looked over, he's smiling. This little guy right over here off camera, he's smiling.
Yeah.
And you have what ended up being a bunch of the men run in, grab everything, and then they moved out in an orderly fashion. And the women have come over here, and you actually have people. I mean, it's just amazing to actually see what y'all have accomplished.
Yeah, and so our goal is to make all the distributions like the women's distribution, so we don't have to have separate women's distribution. At our new site that should open within the next 2 weeks, it's bigger and will allow for continuous distribution for 16 hours and a reservation system at a grander scale so that we could do everything and make it look like this, men and women. But for now, this is how we're solving that challenge and making sure women don't get left behind.
And so there's this Gazan that's over here in a blue vest in the middle. I'm trying to get him on camera for everybody to see. That's over there that's speaking with the women. How long have these men been with y'all helping with this?
So we have had some of them since the first day. Some of them certainly been since the first day. There's some turnover, like any job. This is a job for them, one of the most dangerous jobs in Gaza, actually. You'll see his face is covered. That's for his safety and his family's safety, who are under Hamas threat for just associating with GHF and feeding people in a way that Hamas can't, get involved in a nefarious way, really from beginning to end, for various reasons.
And you've actually came out and said that they have been actually attacked and killed.
Yeah, so we had an incident earlier in the summer. They used to take a bus to work to our sites, and Hamas hijacked a bus, murdered 9 of our local workers, Palestinians, their fellow Gazans, on the bus, killing 9 of them on video. And I don't know if you want me to explain that. So that,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so that was one of our non-lethal tactics. So you can see some people climbing up in the berm out there, and you can see motorcycles zipping in and out in that crowd. And you also want to make sure this is about now protecting the women. So that crowd has to be dispersed.
Yeah. So
that is a non-lethal.
And that came from right up over here by the entry point.
Yeah.
And it was a non-lethal munition.
Non-lethal.
Flashbang. Some people
it sounds scary, and we've been tagged with some false information. That's the only non-lethal tactic you've heard today. It may be the only one, but it is to help control the crowd. We do not use live fire for that. The American military is not trained to use live fire for crowd control. It's not like last on a list of tactics. It's not on the list of tactics. Our guys wouldn't do that. It's about safety at all costs.
Well, here's the other thing too. I can zoom in and I can show these folks all the way back there. Even though that munition just went off, everybody is still standing around calm. There's not chaos. It's still remaining orderly. So whatever they did, that people seem to have agreed with. They're not.
It's for their safety. It may not look like that. It may not sound like that, but it is for the crowd safety. The biggest threat is not Hamas on these sites, although that is a threat. The biggest threat is the crowd. If the crowd rushes, early on, our first distribution, we're happy to admit, was not pretty.
Right.
Because 10,000 people rushed at a few people holding boxes. So we had to design the sites to help accommodate a crowd, and we had to adjust our tactics to do crowd control in a safe way that protects everyone's safety, especially the aid seekers.
Would we be able to walk up just to see what
we're
they're
gonna?
have to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
with-
When you're
I
done
mean,
up here,
now can we go walk up there?
we probably can. I'm going to ask the security guys. Usually want us to wait, but I think we can.
It would
And
be
what that guy
nice.
was just saying, by the
Yeah.
way, if you see this kid with the box,
Yeah.
he's handing out food.
Yeah, he is.
He brought that, and he's now handing out food to his fellow Gazans.
It would. There he is, right there. It would be nice to go up there just to show what
Yeah, no,
you
we
guys are
definitely do
dealing
that.
with and
Yeah.
everything. And
By
I'll
the way, if you
keep
haven't
the
had a
camera
water,
this way.
take a water.
Oh yeah. of
You
course.
get dehydrated easily, and it sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
Today's actually not too hot of a day. Oh, you got water.
Yeah,
Good.
and I'm actually going to keep the camera rolling as I walk.
Okay.
And then I'll mute your mic when it comes time to have to mute your mic for whenever you're talking to whoever.
Yep.
Let them know we're going out there. But I really do want people to understand there's nothing to hide here as we go out and showing what's going on. And here we have them actually extending a litter to help some people out.
Yeah, so there are often heat injuries. That's what I'm not a medical expert. That's what it looks like to me. So they're going to bring her back, check her out. If it is a heat injury, they'll give her electrolytes and some water in the shade.
Yeah.
Back up a little bit, get out of their way, and we can. So this is Samaritan's Purse. Another moving thing for me, before Samaritan's Purse was on site, we had very highly trained Special Forces medics, physician assistants, maybe some doctors, performing this, and you'll see they're working right now. Those are former military medics, Special Forces medics most likely, and they're helping the doctors and nurses in Samaritan's Purse administer medical aid.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it, 18 Deltas are some of the most, 18 Deltas or Special Forces medics have some amazing training. There's a they even go down to dental.
Yeah, we have a
Which a lot
couple
of
18
people don't
Deltas
know.
here, yes.
Yeah, those guys are like invaluable.
They have performed light surgeries out here to save people's lives.
I believe it. That I believe.
So if you want to talk to some of them, we can. We can see if we can go in first. If you want to do that, it's up to you.
Yeah, I would like to go up there just so we can see and say, look, there's nobody shot dead on the ground. It's a non-lethal. I mean, it sounds silly to you and me.
No, I know. I'm going to let you say it, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man.
Like, I literally want to go show because I already know what the naysayers are going to say. They're going to end up saying...
Can we go in now? You the person ask?
No, talk to Mo.
Where's Mo? Is he out there probably? You might want to wear your helmet. I mean, I sometimes do it, don't, but... You could take him out there? Thank you. There's Mo. Let me just check, make sure it's cool. Should be. Just wait here 1 second. Mo, cool to bring him out here? It's okay to have him out here right now? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good to go?
Yep.
All right.
Give us a minute. Let us get situated.
Yeah.
We're gonna start suit tracking. We target the older women first, the ones that can't really stay in the heat too long. We're gonna bring them up. We're gonna line them up. You're gonna see a big long line on this side. On that side is the women with all their ID cards that were able to get their IDs. We're gonna line them up on this side as well. And because of the sheer number, we have over 5,000 women here today.
Yeah.
We're gonna give them an HA box for 2 women. And they're happy with that. They'll share it, whether outside or when they get back to the house.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you.
That was Mo. He's a former Marine, senior leader at UG, Arabic American, speaks Arabic, has a great relationship with the aid seekers. You'll see him joking around, and they flirt with him and stuff. So he's a really great guy, and we rely on him not only to keep everyone safe at his day job, but also help translate.
Yeah, we're gonna line them up for you, okay?
Yeah. All right.
Dip the camera so I don't have to blur his face later. I mean, yeah, obviously I want to cover this. I also want to be able to go up there and say, look, there's absolutely no blood on the ground.
So
Nobody got
you want to
killed.
try and do that right now before this starts?
I would really love to go up there just to show so that nobody can say, oh, look at that.
We're just going to do it
Because you guys have been
accused.
accused.
No permission, so we'll
Thank
go
you.
up there.
Yeah, I appreciate that because you guys have been accused of so much. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. There's thousands and thousands of women just sitting here
Well,
waiting to get aid.
and here's the common sense. None of these people would be here right now doing this, lining up if you guys were shooting them on a daily basis. It's not what would happen.
None of our security personnel have ever fired a weapon at anyone during this engagement. Not once. We have actually, Mo, during the Hamas stampede, fired a shot into the air for crowd control so he could run into the stampede and save a child's life, which he did.
Really?
Yes. He's too humble to really tell that story, but I'll tell it.
Jeez, man.
Oh.
Brother, you mind if I ask you a question? Just keep your face off camera, though. What I'm trying to do is show, because I've been filming this whole thing, because too many of you guys are being accused of just shooting people out here, and we captured some of the non-lethal munitions going off. Can you explain that? Because I'm looking at the ground right now. There is no blood. Nobody has been shot up here.
No.
None of that's taking place. And even the people that are over here off to the side are all like, can you just explain real quick what happened and why?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just non-lethal crowd control due to the threat situation on the ground right now with Hamas and then previous attempts at American lives with grenades. The objective is to just keep everybody at a distance, out of hand grenade range, out of IED range, and we accomplish that simply with flashbangs, non-lethal crowd control, and that's enough to get them back and preserve American lives and also keep Palestinian lives safe as well.
And 2 of your brothers out here have been injured by...
Correct. They were both
Grenades,
hit with
correct.
ball-bearing grenades. Yep.
So, and that threat is still active in the air as far as we know.
Absolutely. Yes, it is.
And so it is imperative to keep this mission running, that you guys are able to control the crowd to keep your safety and everybody else's safety.
That is correct. Yep.
There's also a little bit of increased risk because of the IDF offensive. People are moving south, and Hamas is a little bit more active in the area now.
Yeah. We expect that threat level to rise as the push into Gaza City continues.
Nice.
You'll also notice there was only one sound today. The crowd pretty calm, listening and working with us to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, and even the kids, like, they're just playing little kid games up front with the guys. Like, that is not a, you guys are treating them poorly reaction that we get from these people. I mean, while he is ushering them back and everything, but it's not like
You'll
Kids
also,
being kids.
It's kids being kids.
Correct.
Right.
you'll also see one of the things the guys do, our guys do, is make sure that the women are unscathed as they leave here, right?
Right.
Make sure none of these men or any of the kids give them any trouble with their aid on their way out. That's one of the things that our guys do. Not even part of the scope or the mission, but that, you know, these guys care that we just did this successful distribution and that they get home safe to the extent that we can help with that.
Right.
And again, once they leave our site, about 1 kilometer from here, the IDF is responsible for their safety and security in a war zone. So,
Do you mind if I go walk and just show these people what's off the left real quick over here?
sure.
Appreciate it. Because the only reason I want to show this is right up over here. Excuse me. Come on, work. So right up over here off to our left, I'm going to go up over top of this guy's head so I don't show his face. But right up over here off to our left, you have people that are literally lined up that are behaving themselves. And I mean, nothing's crazy. You got a kid that's over here waving, that's like hanging out with you guys, that's waving over there. I mean, everybody's orderly. And again, even though you heard those munitions go off just a little bit ago, they're non-lethal munitions and people are happy. These people would not be showing up on a daily basis to cheer, to be coming out here, if the accusations against these men were true.
This one keeps trying to take my AirPods. She's a
Look at
troublemaker.
her. Hello. Oh, hold on. Wait. Hold on. Boom, boom. Oh, is that for me?
I need chocolate.
You need chocolate? No, it's not chocolate.
Hello.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, Matt, you just got to be wary of building up a crowd.
My name Yasser.
You again.
Okay.
Yes, I love you too, America. I love you.
I have no chocolate. I'll see if I can get some. I don't have any on me. I'm sorry. I don't have. I'm sorry.
One chocolate, please.
I have no chocolate. I don't have chocolate, man. I'm sorry. I
And
have
I know
chocolate.
chocolate.
But I have this. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
No. That's mine.
Please.
I gotta go.
Hey,
Bye. Thank you guys for entertaining that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're the only one that's been out here like this, by the way, if you want to talk about that.
That's really sad. And I actually had a little girl give me a gift while I was out there as well.
Incredible, right?
Wild.
I know 2 of those little girls just from being here every couple days. This one
I'm gonna keep this.
keeps trying to take my AirPods.
Thank you.
Shukran. Gotta go. We gotta go, Matt.
Okay.
We'll see you
No, I
tomorrow.
gotta go.
Tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.
Nope. All right.
Watch the wire.
C-wire everywhere.
Pioneer. Let's go. Bring it back in, bud.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
I can't believe nobody's actually gone out there and done that. That's insane.
Well, we haven't let them. To be honest. But as you can see, it's calm out there too.
Right. And again, nobody's doing that if your men are shooting these people on a daily basis. There's
That's right.
accusations of over 1,000 people that have been murdered by GHF, allegedly.
Yeah, no, it's...
And you do not get this many people out here if that has occurred.
We have never fired a shot at anyone throughout this entire engagement, nor do I think would they, right? Our guys are here to protect people. If there was a problem, they would flee. They wouldn't shoot at a crowd. That's also part of the Hamas threat, is to get our guys to shoot at a crowd. That's why I keep talking about how these guys are highly skilled, highly trained, but highly intelligent guys. They are not here because they know how to pull a trigger. They're here because they know how not to,
Right.
and they're just not gonna. I just mentioned the story about how Mo saved the kid's life.
Right.
That same day, same guy, a Hamas pistol was pulled on him in the crowd, and he didn't raise his weapon. He ran at the guy, tackled him, took the pistol away, and the guy ran into the crowd. That was designed so that he would our guys would shoot
Right.
in a crowd, and they just wouldn't do it. You know what? Another great story. Speaking, we're at a women's distribution.
Yeah.
Another phenomenal story I recently learned about that day one of our guys got started to pull down into the stampede and his life was in danger, a group of about 6 to 12 aid seeker women came to his rescue, pulled the crowd off of him, pulled him out, and brought him, in a reversible role, brought him
got
to the
to be
safe
kidding
side.
me.
That is a true story. Multiple lives were saved that day, both by the aid seekers and by our security personnel. I keep telling you, this is the story that's not getting out. This is what these guys do. They are here to protect people. That's the instinct. Everyone here, the local Gaza workers are unarmed, unarmored, and they're here risking their lives to feed their neighbors and friends and family.
You know what's funny is like I have been accused, because after outing Aguilar, I have been accused of receiving money from GHF, which is not the case. I actually didn't even come out here with you guys. I didn't. I came out with a different organization that had set up the meeting to go with you guys.
Yep.
It's insane, the things that people are accusing of just to suppress what's taking place here.
My joke is, I didn't know coming here to feed people would be so controversial.
Right.
That's all we're doing. Feeding people in a safe way and in a way that Hamas can't take it. That is all we are doing every single day. And by the way, we had guys. I mean, if a security personnel is not operating in the right way or doing something that looks weird at all, he goes home.
They're gone. I saw a report on UGS website for one guy that they ended up getting out anyways. It's insane to me, absolutely insane to me what you guys have been accused of just being on the ground here and looking at it.
The mission here is humanitarian.
Yeah, look, we've got a bunch of little boys. I hope I can grab this. We've got a bunch of little boys that literally just came walking up with one of your guys, like right over there. Yep. And I'm going to move the camera so I'm not exposing their faces, but it's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, even the kids are under Hamas threat.
Right. Absolutely nuts. Dude, I can't believe that.
This is the most we've had in a while, right? The women? Because Site 2 is closed, probably.
Correct. So a lot of the ones from 2 are here today.
And you'll see Samaritan's Purse boxes too. We're handing out Samaritan's Purse aid as well. I mentioned earlier we're working with them to figure out how to to distribute their winterization products, tents and things like that. We're also working with them to figure out how to build wells on our sites so we can have continuous distribution of water as well.
Okay, cool.
Right now we're just a food operation, but we're looking to expand into other things, women's health needs. Interesting thing about our humanitarian team is they have focus groups. They'll bring 12 women on site and they'll ask them questions, they'll see what they need, make sure they're getting the right things, and we'll try and adapt and we'll try to provide what the women tell us that they need.
Jeez Louise, man.
Nope, that's done. No more.
And this is right here. Where'd he go?
Sorry, watch out, Matt.
Ah, stop.
I might just remember. I'm not telling you to stop talking, just to warn you.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust. There we go. Sorry.
Yeah?
Friends I met out here and stuff.
Do they speak English, you know?
Some of them.
You want to meet some of his friends he's got out here, the women?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love
We'll
to.
follow your lead, Tim.
Once we start distributing in the
Okay.
coffins,
Yeah,
I'll be
okay.
able to find them, and they usually shout out to me and call my name. So
Okay,
I'll
cool.
walk you over.
So the other thing is you see them now, right? The first section of women is now online and they're walking slowly towards the middle here. You'll see the forklifts are delivering boxes and they're gonna pick up a box and they'll walk right past you up this middle chute and go home.
So there we've got the boxes of aid that are being stacked up.
Yep, so I believe the Samaritan's Purse currently is the Plumpy Nut,
Yep.
is the nickname for it. It's the ready-to-use supplemental food for children's nutrition.
Yep.
That has to be handed out individually for health reasons.
Right.
These kids are going to get something here. That's why, like I said, our guys have a very soft spot for children.
Sure.
So they pick these guys. These guys are running around, and they're going to get something here.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, our biggest challenge now is having enough food to feed everyone. We were never meant to solve this problem alone. It's why we have an outstanding offer to the United Nations to collaborate. They certainly have an endless supply of aid, and we have a safe distribution method. Imagine how many people we could feed if the United Nations agreed to cooperate with us. And I think we're getting close. There's a reason that they have said that we could coexist and that both models could coexist. We're very optimistic that we'll be able to help them and they'll be able to help us.
So I did the math based on, I want to say it was through June, potentially through July, but either way, and so old numbers, but between GHF and the World Food Program for aid food that's been delivered into Gaza, 1.25 meals per Palestinian on average a day. When you take into account that 94% of the World Food Program's aid is looted by whomever they do or don't want to admit, it actually brings those numbers down to 0.7 meals per day. And that is 100% attributed to, 94%, 96% attributed to you guys.
Yeah, listen, you've heard me talk about challenges. We are very transparent in our operations. We solve for challenges all the time. This is, sorry to be repetitive, this is one of, if not the most complex humanitarian crises of our lifetime, and it's happening in an active war zone. Every one of us, the UN, us, WFP, International Red Cross and Crescent, are all having operational challenges. We are working to solve those every day, and we have offered to help the other NGOs solve them every day, something that wasn't widely covered. Over 200 international NGOs from over 15 countries sent a letter to the United Nations a couple of weeks ago urging them to collaborate with us. And we stand ready, willing, and able to help. I know that conversations are happening at a high level back in New York with our leadership and the UN leadership. And I know that we are optimistic that some sort of collaboration could happen. Again, imagine how many people we could feed if we all work together across Gaza to get it done.
Wow. And you guys have also been accused of not being a humanitarian organization, which is insane to me, based off of everything I've seen. You guys are absolutely a humanitarian organization. You have to have armed security. You've had people that have been wounded, but you also brought in the appropriate people that understand the humanitarian aspect of what you have to do. And because you guys made that decision, bringing in those highly trained and experienced U.S. Special Operators out here on this mission, this is the end result.
No question, and as I mentioned before, this site is run by local Palestinian workers along with our humanitarian team who runs the show here. They dictate how this is operating so that it is done in a humanitarian way. There are 4 humanitarian principles. Humanity, which I think you can see this is happening in a dignified way today. And all we care about is getting food into the hands of people in a safe way. Impartiality, we are pro-ceasefire. We have no relationship with the government of Israel other than we are approved to work here and operate here, just like the UN and every other INGO. We work to push the IDF to deconflict outside the sites, but they're responsible for that, and we don't dictate war tactics. Impartiality, neutrality, and independence. We're an American nonprofit. We are totally independent, and we are doing all of this. And yes, we do use armed security.